The whispers started like faint gossip at a Hollywood luncheon, but now they're echoing across every mansion and media office in Los Angeles. Something's gone terribly wrong for Meghan Markle. Word is spreading that Amazon's top executives are quietly backing away from her, and this time, the fallout might crush whatever remains of her glittery Hollywood dreams. Just when people thought Meghan and Harry's streak of bad luck had finally cooled off, another storm hit, one involving billionaire Jeff Bezos, his glamorous fiancée Lauren Sanchez, and a colossal gamble that has spectacularly backfired. Sources close to the situation say that Amazon MGM Studios is seriously re-evaluating their connection to the Duchess. It all exploded after the infamous Kardashian party disaster, the event where Meghan's desperate attempt to charm Bezos ended in pure humiliation. And now everyone in Hollywood is asking the same burning question. Why would Meghan torch her bridges at Netflix while frantically chasing after Amazon? The answer might shock you, but it also shows just how frantic the Sussexes' scramble for relevance has become. Apparently, Meghan was set to appear in an Amazon MGM production titled Close Personal Friends, playing Brace Yourself herself. Yes, she was literally cast as Meghan Markle. Industry insiders whispered that Amazon's executives were initially intrigued, but as weeks passed, they began stepping back, watching nervously as she unleashed one PR disaster after another. The Kardashian catastrophe was supposed to be her golden ticket, a way to cozy up to Bezos and lock her place in his media empire. Instead, it became a full-blown scandal, now dubbed Photogate, leaving the Kardashians furious, Bezos and Lauren embarrassed, and Meghan looking more radioactive than ever. And the timing? Couldn't be worse. Netflix has already shut her out. They won't even feature her as ever products in their Netflix house retail locations, despite earlier promises. Her cooking lifestyle show bombed so badly that Netflix refused to release the viewing data. Season 2 didn't make a single top 10 list. Not in the US, not in the UK, not anywhere. And now, just as Meghan turned toward Amazon hoping for redemption, that relationship is falling apart before it even began. But what makes this even juicier is that insiders claim Jeff Bezos himself is fed up with the chaos Meghan brings wherever she goes. The Kardashian drama, they say, was his final straw, a tone-deaf fiasco that unfolded the very weekend the royal family was solemnly honoring war heroes. While the Windsors bowed their heads in London, Meghan was at Bezos' $64 million mansion posing beside Kim Kardashian, then, unbelievably, demanding that the pictures be scrubbed from social media. The Kardashians don't forgive easily, and now Meghan's staring at a Hollywood nightmare. Netflix gone. The Kardashians furious, and Amazon ready to pull the plug. Before diving deeper into Amazon's meltdown, let's rewind to Netflix, because what happened there explains exactly why Meghan ran toward Bezos in the first place and why it's already backfiring. Behind the scenes, Netflix has quietly and systematically frozen Meghan Markle out. Remember when As Ever products were supposed to appear in those flashy Netflix house stores? Fans expected to see her jams and overpriced honey lined up beside Stranger Things merchandise. But guess what? Nothing. Not one jar, not a single wooden crate. And this came from the same company that produced With Love, Meghan, the cooking lifestyle show that was supposed to launch her empire into the stratosphere. Instead, it tanked spectacularly. Netflix hasn't released viewership numbers because, frankly, they're catastrophic. Season 2 failed to appear in any top 10 chart worldwide. To put it bluntly, even flop series managed to sneak onto a top 10 list somewhere. But Meghan's couldn't. Analysts revealed that viewership fell by 4/5 from the first season trailer to the second, a stunning collapse. One Netflix insider admitted the return on investment was absolutely dismal. After their initial documentary buzz, every Sussex project fizzled. Heart of Invictus ignored. Polo dead on arrival. And now, with Love, Meghan joins the graveyard of failed Sussex productions. So when Netflix began inching away, Meghan looked for a lifeboat and saw Jeff Bezos. The Close Personal Friends cameo wasn't random, it was strategic. She could sense the Netflix curtain falling and decided to leap before she was pushed. Her plan? Attend Bezos' elite parties, mingle with his circle, and present herself as the perfect Amazon partner. But Netflix noticed, and they weren't amused. To them, her Amazon cameo felt like betrayal, an unspoken but obvious conflict of interest. Meghan was still under Netflix contract while sneaking into a competitor's project. It was reckless, disloyal, and short-sighted, exactly the kind of move that's been burning her Hollywood bridges one by one. Then came the night that torpedoed everything. Kris Jenner's 70th birthday party hosted, no less, by Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez at their $164 million Beverly Hills mansion. This was supposed to be Meghan's big Hollywood reset, her moment to dazzle Bezos' circle, cement her spot among the elite, and prove she was still A-list material. But instead, it became an unmitigated disaster. The party was jaw-dropping, a James Bond-themed spectacle with Beyoncé, Serena Williams, Paris Hilton, Justin Bieber, literally everyone who mattered. Harry arrived channeling 7 inches of tuxedo. Meghan glowed in designer gowns, smiling for cameras, laughing with Kim Kardashian, dancing near Kris. Everything looked picture-perfect until suddenly, it wasn't. Within hours, all images of Meghan and Harry vanished from Kris and Kim's Instagram feeds. Gone. Wiped clean. The Kardashians posted dozens of party shots, but not a single trace of the Sussexes. And everyone knew that wasn't an accident. 2 versions of events surfaced. People magazine, Meghan's go-to outlet, claimed Meghan herself demanded to be removed from photos, saying she'd ticked the no photo box on consent forms. But that theory collapsed fast. If she didn't want pictures, why strut through the paparazzi line? Why pose, grinning ear to ear beside Kim Kardashian? The photos existed, we saw them, and Meghan looked thrilled. The second version? Far more believable and brutal. Hollywood sources claim the Kardashians themselves deleted the Sussexes because they no longer wanted to be associated with Meghan's mounting toxicity. Imagine that, the Kardashians, the queens of controversy, deciding that being seen with Meghan Markle was bad for their brand. Industry insiders whispered, "You can't ghost the Kardashians." Another said, "Kim doesn't do takebacks. Once you're part of the Kardashian machine, you're in it unless you do something unforgivable." And now Meghan had. But the worst fallout wasn't between Meghan and the Kardashians, it was between Meghan and Jeff Bezos himself. Because that night, Photogate didn't just humiliate her, it made Bezos and Lauren Sanchez furious. They'd opened their extravagant home, curated a glittering guest list, and turned their mansion into the ultimate Hollywood backdrop, only to have their event hijacked by Meghan's photo drama. This, remember, was supposed to build trust between Meghan and Amazon Studios. Instead, it left executives mortified. And then there was the Close Personal Friends project, the strange Amazon film that started this entire mess. Meghan Markle playing herself, not a character, not a fictional version, literally herself. The irony was impossible to miss. The woman who spent years complaining about intrusion in privacy was now portraying Meghan Markle on screen. But that desperate casting choice exposed something even more, telling how few opportunities she actually has left. A real star doesn't have to play herself in a vanity project. A real actress gets roles. From day one, Amazon insiders had mixed feelings. At first, the royal connection seemed exciting until the Kardashian scandal and constant negative press soured the mood. Then, word of Meghan's difficult on-set behavior resurfaced and the executives started getting cold feet. Worse, Amazon discovered Meghan made this deal while still under Netflix contract. For them, the optics were a nightmare. Netflix had given her millions, produced her shows, and promoted her brand. And she went behind their backs to work with their biggest rival. That's not just bad form, it's career suicide. Multiple sources confirmed Netflix executives were blindsided. They felt betrayed and furious, vowing never to fund another Sussex project. And suddenly, it made perfect sense why Meghan's as-ever products mysteriously vanished from Netflix house shelves. But now comes the million-dollar question. If Netflix dumped her for betraying them, why would Amazon think they'll fare any better? Hollywood's a small town. Everyone talks, everyone knows. And right now, everyone knows Meghan Markle can't be trusted. Rumors swirl that Amazon is quietly scaling back promotion, hoping Close Personal Friends will fade away without attracting too much attention. Some executives reportedly call her a toxic association. Others are praying the film slips under the radar so they can distance themselves quietly the same way Netflix did. One thing's clear, Meghan Markle's Hollywood rescue plan is crumbling, and this time there may be no way back. Now, let's walk through the wreckage Meghan has left behind, because the Amazon disaster isn't a one-off. It's the latest explosion in a long, messy pattern that's followed her since the day she left the palace. And right now, nobody trusts Meghan Markle. Netflix doesn't, Spotify doesn't, the Kardashians definitely don't. If Amazon steps back too, that's a death blow. Because when a company as powerful as Amazon walks away, the rest of Hollywood takes note. It sends a message louder than any headline. Meghan Markle isn't worth the risk. The Kardashian fallout is especially lethal. They aren't just a family, they're a network plugged into every brand, every platform, every streaming service in the business. Make enemies with them and you're blacklisted across half the industry. And Meghan managed to do that in one night. Insiders say she's made another Hollywood enemy at the worst possible time. Translation? She's out of second chances, out of lifelines, out of road. Now, other studios are watching how Amazon handles the situation. If Bezos, with all his money, connections, and power, can't make Meghan Markle profitable, who can? If Close Personal Friends ends up buried with no promotion, that tells every other executive exactly what to expect. What's most tragic or poetic, depending on how you see it, is that Meghan created this downfall herself. She had everything. She married into royalty. She had worldwide fame, Oprah's backing, and million-dollar deals from the biggest platforms on earth. She had the entire world waiting to see what she'd do next. And she blew it, spectacularly. Netflix gave her chance after chance. Harry and Meghan, Heart of Invictus, Polo, With Love, Meghan. They even tried to help promote As Ever. But in return, she delivered flops, vanity projects, and more drama than profit. Then, while still cashing their checks, she turned around and made a movie for their biggest competitor. That isn't just ungrateful, it's suicidal. Now Amazon's realizing the same thing Netflix already learned. Meghan Markle is chaos wrapped in couture. She makes promises she can't keep, manipulates numbers to protect her ego, and leaves a trail of scorched partnerships wherever she goes. So the billion-dollar question, when all the doors finally close, what happens to Meghan and Harry? They can't go back to the royals. That bridge isn't just burned, it's ashes. William won't take their calls, Catherine wants nothing to do with them, King Charles has moved on, there's no reconciliation, no royal safety net left, so what's next? More lawsuits? Another pity party interview about their truth? Or will they finally fade quietly into obscurity, stripped of the fame and influence they chased so recklessly? Some insiders think the Sussexes will retreat, slipping out of the spotlight without ever admitting defeat. Others believe Meghan will keep clawing at relevance, chasing smaller, cheaper deals until no one's watching. A few optimists say she might even try crawling back to the royal family someday, though that feels almost impossible. Whatever happens, one thing is crystal clear. Meghan Markle is finally facing the consequences of her own choices. She burned her allies, betrayed her partners, and exhausted Hollywood's patience. Just like in the palace, she's managed to isolate herself completely, and in the end, Hollywood reacts the same way the royals did, with silence. Because eventually, even in the land of second chances, people get tired of the drama. The chaos becomes exhausting, the trust evaporates, the doors close, one by one. So here we are. Netflix gone. Spotify gone. Amazon backing away. The Kardashians furious. The Sussex brand collapsing. The only question left, the one echoing through every Hollywood boardroom, is simple. Is Meghan Markle truly finished, or does she somehow, impossibly, have one last comeback left in her? Because if Jeff Bezos walks away, then Meghan Markle's Hollywood fairy tale doesn't just end, it vanishes.